It's like the churches where they actually come up and throw holy water on you and shit, right?
They come in our houses and throw holy water as well.
Which part of Romania did you live in? The fucking Middle Ages?
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dopecast.
Yo!
Hello.
With us today, we have who?
Hello, my name is Eliaden. I've been around for a couple of months, I suppose. A year almost, I think.
Is it really that short?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I feel like you've been around longer. I feel like I know you better than some people who have been around longer at least.
I have that impression, people. I just give myself to everyone.
yeah, I suppose so.
The questions, I should answer those, right?
Wait,
yes, but let me ask them
Who
first.
are you? Get out, new fag.
That's true. Get the fuck out.
Alright. Do I stop the
allowed.
recording now, or what?
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for the listening. Right, so, yeah, the questions. You kind of jumped the gun there.
Oh.
Anderson, why don't you take the questions?
Yes. First up, how old are you?
I am 20 years old.
Old?
And
Old,
where
yeah.
are you from?
And I'm from Romania, but currently I'm living in Denmark.
In Denmark.
Yeah.
Why would anyone go there? Denmark is awful.
Alright, it's fucking... No, it's alright though.
I mean,
People-
Anderson, that's a fair point for most of the civilized world, but he's from Romania. You gotta keep this in mind.
It's an
Oh
upgrade
shit, you're
wherever
one
I
of those
go.
migrants who wants to take advantage of our welfare system. I heard about you guys on the news.
Oh,
You're all
boy.
over the Danish media.
Oh. Well, I guess I chose the right question, I suppose.
Are you brown?
Yeah. But you don't want to say where I'm brown.
You're
Is-
one of those people who sit outside of supermarkets
Is
and
your
then
f-
send
is-
their money home
Is,
back to their
is your
families.
face brown?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because if it isn't,
No.
then I'm pretty sure
No.
you get to stay here anyway.
No, I'm not brown.
You're
Okay.
not brown?
Yeah, I'm white as fucking
But you're
cheese.
Romanian. Aren't you guys all some kind of mud niggers?
How did you know?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, if he's Romanian, they all have a little bit of Turk in them.
yeah. Remove kebab and all that.
Okay, alright. Yeah,
So why are you named Eliaden? What the fuck is that?
People have asked me before. Basically, I was playing this MMO.
Called?
Decaron.
What?
Yeah,
Decaron?
yeah.
What the fuck is that?
It's
Sounds
called
like a dessert.
Decaron?
It was called. It was called 2 Moons, but it changed names.
Is it some Korean shit?
Yeah, it's Korean. Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Is it like Maple Story?
No, it's like 3D actually.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Uh,
Okay, so you're playing this Decaron.
Yeah, and my friend wanted me to play CS. And,
Okay.
I was like, I don't really have a nickname. I don't want to go to CS. And I
What?
just- yeah.
What's the connection there?
I was dumb, man. I was like 12 years old or some shit.
Wait, I don't want to play CS because I don't have a good nickname?
Yeah, because I had to make a Steam account, and I was like, when I find a proper nickname, I'll make a Steam account and buy CS.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you went on a great hunt for the nickname then? Like one of those
No.
spiritual journeys like Native Americans
No,
where they
not
get
really,
called
not
like
really.
the eagle who walks indoors and shit like that. That's how you came up
the
with
the first mob in the game I was playing, that was my name.
it. Really?
Yeah,
So you're basically called Rat Level 1.
something like that. Yeah, that guy was badass though.
So what the
Like,
fuck is an Eliaden?
It's an angel with black wings. Pretty cool.
Is it a type of creature or is it a specific
No,
person?
it's a specific creature.
Oh. Wait, a specific creature, but
Just Google it. What the fuck?
No, I'm not gonna Google it. We're talking, dude. I'm explaining this to the listeners through asking questions.
It's
to you.
basically like a mob outside of a dungeon.
Yeah,
You had to kill it to get some.
but so it's sort of like a boss monster.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay, so you basically call yourself Sephiroth.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, but it's less faggy because nobody knows what the fucking
I know, right?
Eliaden is or Eliaden or whatever.
I'm disappointed. I was hoping it would be Eliaden.
No,
Like
I don't even know.
Homeric story. The Iliad. I don't even know. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling.
So, when you're not making up names to go play CS, what do you do for a living?
I still can't get over that. You actually had to like find a nickname to play CS. What were you called in the MMO then? Were you just using your real name?
I have no idea what I was called actually. Probably some fag shit.
Triple X Pussy Slayer.
It had XD in it probably.
Yeah. Well, XD wasn't popular back then, I guess, so.
Oh,
I was a cool kid.
I was using XD before it was cool. The ultimate scum of the hipster world.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, as Anderson was alluding to.
I usually study for a living because I don't have a job yet.
Is that why you're in Denmark?
Yeah.
What are you studying in Denmark?
Multimedia design and communication.
Are you studying... Where are you studying, rather?
Copenhagen.
Is it Copenhagen University?
No, there's no such thing though. There's like a lot of universities.
Yeah, which one? Or I guess you don't need to say if you don't want to, but I'm just curious.
Kia, in case we have any Danish people.
Alright, that tells me absolutely nothing. What's multimedia design?
It's web designing basically.
Oh. Which means what? Making websites?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Come on, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Web designing? What could the web designer do?
I don't know. Fucking making YouTube videos or some shit for all I know. It's multimedia, innit?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
So
we do get to be taught. Fuck that.
Get to be taught.
Yeah, we do get to learn about filmmaking and such, but it's not really important.
No, I suppose. Well, most media, I suppose, has some film courses in.
Yeah.
Så Eliaden, kan du snakke dansk, eller er undervisningen på engelsk?
What?
I said
the answer is no or nay.
The answer is obviously that the classes are in English.
Yeah, they're in
He asked if you can speak
Danish. Fuck Danish, man.
Okay, I have to do this since you're in Denmark. I'm going to type something in chat, and I want you to try and say it. And you probably had practice, because people have probably asked you to say this before.
No. I'm bad at Danish. I choke every time.
There you go.
No. I know that.
Yes.
I know that people have tried to make me say that, but it's really difficult. Rod... Rog... I can't.
You're just clearing your throat just then.
Med flor. Something like that.
That's not bad. Rødgrød med fløde.
Okay, yeah.
Christ.
I can't say it really fast without choking.
Is that something about porridge with cream?
Yeah, rødgrød is kind of a porridge made of strawberries and I think one other kind of berry with cream.
Oh, so it means red, the first part.
Yes, it's literally red porridge with cream.
Oh, it sounds kind of disgusting. I don't know. The mental image of red porridge is not good.
It does look... It looks like special effects from an 80s splatter film, but it can be tasty.
Is it dessert, or...?
Yeah, definitely dessert.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, there you go.
It's like warm jam.
Warm jam?
No, not really.
Warm jam. Ugh. That sounds gross.
So what do you say in Romania?
What?
Write something Romanian in chat, and we'll get Dope to try and say that.
Oh my god. Is there even a Romanian language?
Of course there is.
Yeah.
What's it similar to? Is it like near Polish? Is it that kind of language tribe?
It has Slavic influences, but it's basically Latin.
I can actually speak Romanian. You want to hear?
Yeah, go.
Vla, I will bite you on the neck.
Wow, you're so good at Romanian, man.
It's a regional dialect, though.
Okay, I'm gonna try to make Dove say this.
Alright, go for it. I can't see anything, though. Oh my god, the hype typing.
Chuka, 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 chuka.
That looks like Italian, so I want to say it like Castavete Mora.
Holy shit!
I have no idea.
That was pretty good.
What is it actually?
It's a pickle.
Pickle?
Yeah.
Oh. And how do you say it?
Castavete Murat.
Oh, hey, I was fucking close, come on.
Yeah, you're close, you're good.
Alright. That doesn't sound very Slavic. That sounds like a Romance language.
Yeah, I told you it's mostly Latin, but it has Slavic influences.
All right. So moving on, even though
Yes.
this is somehow rather entertaining. What do you do for a living? Oh no, we already did that one.
Video games,
Anderson,
man. Video
take-
games.
Anderson, take the next question.
Yes.
I'm fumbling.
Eliaden, what games are you playing right now?
CS.
Still?
Counter-Strike.
Is that why you still have that name?
Yeah. Counter-Strike, Global Offensive.
I mean, Dope, he can't play anything else. He'll have to come up with a new name. That's not good.
I play like the latest MMOs and I get bored of them immediately.
Is that because you have ADD or because MMOs generally today are just bad and boring?
Yeah, they get boring after a while. Like, I like leveling, basically. And when I'm done leveling, I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing now? And quit.
Which was the most recent one you played?
I think it was Blade and Soul, actually.
I
Did
played
you-
that.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's kind of alright.
But
Kind of
then I saw you had to grind the weapons.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck off.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
It has a bit too much Korean design influence for my taste, but overall, it's one of the better sort of free-to-play MMOE kind of
Yeah,
things I've
yeah,
played
it's
recently,
alright.
at least.
If
You
you
know-
want to spend some time.
You know what would make a really good free-to-play MMO that I would actually play?
World of Warcraft.
Yes.
RuneScape remake.
I kind of felt like that was going to be the answer. Yeah, I'd probably at least install it if it was free-to-play as well.
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe. At least to like revisit it. But yeah, the monthly subscription thing is kind of a turn off. Because then you're so stuck to it. Then you have to play it for 40 hours or something to
Yeah,
get your money's worth. It feels like.
I get stressed out because anytime I'm
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
if I'm playing it, paying a subscription, anytime I'm not playing it, I'm like, I'm wasting money right now. I'm not getting
Yeah.
value. I'm too much of a Jew to play subscription-based MMOs. Is what I'm
I'm
saying.
sure that's part of the calculus as well as like a psychological trick that Blizzard employs. But I think didn't they make it so that you can now buy
Yeah, you can do it now.
buy it in game with gold or some shit like
Yeah,
that?
you can buy subscription with gold, but like it makes their you have to farm a lot basically.
Yeah.
What was the first MMO to do that? Because I first heard about that, I think, in Eve.
Yeah, they might have been the first because they've been around for so long. It's possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also possible. Also possible it's something completely different. Who knows? I don't know if you could do that in like EverQuest or something like that. Maybe. Who knows?
My mind was on a completely different track. When you said something completely different, for a moment I parsed that as being the title of a game. And so my mind wandered to a Monty Python inspired MMO.
Oh
That
Jesus,
would be kind of cool,
that would be pretty nice, yeah. But no, it
but
won't
also kind
happen.
of terrible. It could work as like a the Stick of Truth, like the South Park game, but with Monty Python kind of type of game,
Oh yeah,
rather than being a full MMO.
so Eliaden, you really don't play any other games apart from Counter-Strike and MMOs?
I'm still one of those fags that plays Dota.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like
I
original
didn't know
Dota
this about
or
you.
or
This is upsetting.
or Dota 2?
Dota too.
Okay.
No, because it's alright. Like with the custom games and all, it's pretty nice to play.
Are you
right?
are you,
custom
are
games,
you
though.
good at it?
Oh,
How
yeah.
many millions of dollars have you won?
200 million.
All right. That's fair enough. So, aside from playing boring video games, do you have any other hobbies?
Yeah, I recently got the electric guitar.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to learn to play that.
Do you have the game? What's it called? Not Rock Band, but the one
Rocksmith.
where you learn playing guitar.
Rocksmith, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I don't have Rocksmith. It's fucking expensive, man.
I highly recommend it.
Why not pirate it? Oh wait, sorry. No, we cannot endorse illegal activities on this podcast. I was merely talking in a hypothetical situation. I do not in any way endorse illegal activities amongst any of our listeners.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you,
probably
YouTube
I'm
staff,
gonna
you
pirate
bunch
it.
of fucking cunts.
I'm gonna pirate it if
No, he's kidding. Allegedly, he's going to pirate it.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
There you go. Cover their asses. If you didn't hear, by the way, like one of our episodes got taken off YouTube for promoting illegal activity. And there was nothing in it except for talking about piracy. So that must have been it, which is ridiculous.
Oh well. I definitely did not pirate Witcher 3 just now.
Good. Me neither. I've only bought it twice.
I would honestly pirate more video games if I weren't so dumb.
Allegedly
pirate video games.
No, there's no harm in I'm too dumb to get it to work anyway.
Yeah, there's a little bit of trickery to it sometimes. Although many releases generally just install it these days. It used to be more complicated when you had to extract and mount things up with daemon tools or whatever. But yeah, what were we talking about?
We're talking about other hobbies.
Hobbies, yes. So, electric guitar.
Yeah. Starving is one of my hobbies since I'm a student.
Wait, how did you afford an electric guitar if you're starving?
A friend borrowed it to me, basically.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's a loaner.
Yeah. But I'm gonna get a job and I'm gonna be really rich and buy CSGO skins. I can't wait for that.
And buy what?
CSGO skins. Like skins for weapons in Counter-Strike.
Like a knife that's slightly more curved than the knife you normally have, and therefore it's worth $200.
That's the shit.
That is insane.
That is pretty insane, yeah.
I'm not gonna buy a knife though, no, insane.
I honestly almost wanna just put a lot of time into playing like CSGO or TF2, I guess CSGO now, just to sell all that stupid shit.
Yeah, you don't get it though. Like, randomly getting valuable stuff is super rare. You're gonna have to spend a lot of money buying keys and opening boxes and stuff.
Oh, I mean, there's people so you have to spend money to get the random stuff. Oh,
yeah, very clever. There's basically people who play CS by just playing the marketplace, like to actually earn money out of it. But it's like all sort of investment, or not investment, but like buy low, sell high kind of stuff. It's a pretty risky market.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So, what is the next question?
Anderson? It is the question of the week, and it is of course the obvious question. Eliaden, are you a vampire?
Yes, I am. I'm very good at sucking blood.
So you're one of those people that think they're a vampire and don't go out during the day?
Yeah. If I see the sun in the morning. If I see the sun in the morning, I go.
But no, an actual question. Are you a weeb?
I am a weeb, yes. Unfortunately. It's
Dope,
a curse.
I told you to try. I told you to try and get someone who wasn't a weeb, so we wouldn't have like 3 straight episodes of weeb.
I fucking tried, but it's impossible. Everybody's been infected by that shit. It's ridiculous.
No, it's alright though, because mine isn't that obvious.
Yeah. How many figures do you have? How many posters do you have? How many fucking body pillows do you have? Like, I'm not that much of a weeb. I just have 14 body pillows. Like Mr. Green Miscreant went. Like, oh Jesus.
I think the only reason you're getting upset, Dope, is that your amygdala is calcified.
Yeah, man. I gotta get some LSD or something. Open my third eye proper. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm sad.
So, let's take a look at some of the feedback that got in from our last episode.
Yes.
So, Work Galaxy says, Hungary is a fake country built on genocide, just like Vatican and Murica.
Wait, was this in response to something Kriya said? No, this was the Green Miscreant
This was the Green Miscreant episode. I have no idea.
Oh, you're right. He's from Hungary. That's why we went on to Hungary.
Oh, yeah, he had like Hungary ancestry.
Yeah.
What did you talk about?
Well, nothing specifically about Hungary, but, I mean, let's get a bit philosophical with this, shall we? Aren't every country really a fake country? You know, borders are just virtual representations of something that human society has agreed upon, and not an actual thing.
Not just that, but I mean, I'm betting you can say I'm wrong and find exceptions, but generally speaking, murder, genocide, oppression, conquest, isn't that what pretty much every country is built on if you go back to the beginning of it?
Yeah, or even today for many places.
So yeah, take that, work galaxy.
Hashtag wrecked.
Though, I mean, are the Vatican and America particularly bad? And what's the deal with Hungary?
The Vatican probably is.
How is?
But
I'm
I don't
sorry
know the
for being. I'm sorry for being so uncultured. But how is Vatican built on genocide?
well, Crusades and all this, right?
Yep.
Fucking Inquisition, all of this shit came from the Vatican.
Yeah, that came from the Vatican, but like the Vatican State as a nation, how is that built on genocide? It's not.
Well,
it's not like
you
they
know,
went into the middle of
they're
Rome and killed the local Romans. And
No, I guess not. But like, if somebody didn't fucking bend to the will of the Pope, he was basically like a warmonger. He'd send armies after you and crush you.
not the current Pope, by the way. The current Pope is cool.
He's a little bit cooler than the previous popes, but he's still a guy in a funny hat who thinks he speaks to God. That's not a cool man in my book.
Yeah, but he doesn't send armies after you and crushes you, so he's cool.
I'm not so sure about that. I mean, have you heard about the secret organizations controlling the Vatican, the Jesuit orders, Illuminati?
I'm sorry, I didn't think we had Kriya on this episode.
No, but that's true. But he still is probably killing a lot of people just with his idiotic creeds about not wearing condoms and so on. I mean, it's not genocide, but it's still sort of causing a lot of misery around the world.
Well, what do you expect? It's a religion.
Hey!
Alright.
Eliaden, are you religious?
No, fuck religion.
What is Romania like in terms of religion? Is it Christian or
Orthodox?
Christian
Muslim, or what is it?
Orthodox.
Christian Orthodox.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you got them really scary kind of Christians there.
Fuck yeah. My parents made me go to church until I was 12. They forced church down my throat.
That's fun.
The God, like during Christmas.
Which part of Romania did you live in? The fucking Middle Ages?
No, I'm serious. It's a how do you call it?
Tradition.
Tradition, yeah. Like
Wow.
during Christmas, a priest actually comes to every house, and he makes you kiss the cross. Then he sprays holy water across the fucking rooms.
Oh my god.
I mean, in a way, isn't that better than the Protestant church we have here in Denmark and Sweden? I mean, look at it this way. Their church makes house calls.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
I mean, if you believe in that kind of mumbo jumbo, then it makes perfect sense to go out to your flock and preach and make sure they stay within the folds and all that kind of stuff. So
Bringing the guilt
I mean-
and anxiety to you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I suppose it's kind of like if you're a Protestant Christian or like a moderate Protestant at least, you're kind of cheating because you're not following the Bible. You don't believe most of those things. At least these guys are closer to actually being proper Christians, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, we don't even
Alright.
steal at all in Romania because the Bible says we shouldn't.
Yeah, there's no thieves from Romania, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, next bit of feedback.
All right. This is a double bit. I didn't include the other bit. Yonte9651 says, in Resident Evil, they actually explain why the puzzles are the way they are. And I want to touch on why they are still bad puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember who it was, but someone replied to that, yeah, they're just too stupid to pay attention.
Oh.
So
So basically, the defense for the criticism is get good.
I guess. But the thing is, the whole point of a puzzle, the challenge of a puzzle, is figuring it out.
Yes.
If there is a reason your puzzle makes no sense, but the puzzle still makes no sense, then it's still not a good puzzle, because if the puzzle still boils down to use random object on other random object until you get it right, then fuck off, really.
Yeah.
If there's something that you're told in-game that suddenly makes a puzzle that wouldn't make sense actually do make sense, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah, if you're playing a game and in the game's universe, if you put a gemstone into a statue, a door unlocks. And that's something that's widely accepted. That's how people enter their houses and shit like that. Like, that's how locks work in that universe.
And the player
and
gets
that
told
makes
this.
a good puzzle. Exactly. But if it doesn't, and you're ostensibly in the real world where people have locks and keys and there isn't necessarily magic, even though there's zombies and everything, then those kind of puzzles don't make sense.
Or just to get a bit closer to the puzzle and defend it, if the door that opened was to like a secret room behind the sheriff's office, and you know that the sheriff's office is in a building that was originally built by, I don't know, early settler cultists or something.
Yeah, like the Masons or something like that.
Yeah, that would be fine. But it was I'm remembering wrong, or it was the actual door to the sheriff's office.
Yeah. I mean, Resident Evil is full of that kind of shit, so even if it isn't exactly those parameters, there's plenty of that kind of stuff.
So, yeah, explaining why the puzzles are bad puzzles doesn't make them not be bad puzzles.
Yeah, agreed.
What do you think, Eliaden? What do you think about bad puzzles?
I play MMOs in CSGO, man.
Hey, have you played, what's it called, Secret World? That's full of puzzles.
Alright, yeah, I suppose.
How did you like that?
I don't know, as long as a puzzle makes sense within the context, I think it's a good puzzle.
Yeah.
And
I actually have a... Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
Dark Souls had some puzzles, I suppose.
Yeah, kind of at least.
If a puzzle makes sense and you can make out the puzzle with the information within the game, then that's a good puzzle.
Yeah. Just a quick anecdote of bad puzzle design, which is kind of accidental. I recently played... Well, it's not even that recently anymore, but yeah, I played through Puzzle Agent. It's a sort of a adventure game that's got like puzzles in it, obviously.
The Tron one, right?
The what?
The one that was Tron, like...
Yeah, it's like a cartoon.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was one puzzle in there, which made perfect logical sense, but I could not solve it without asking chat for information, because it was set up to use dimes, quarters, pennies, and
nickels,
something like that. And my grasp of American culture wasn't good enough to know what denomination these things are. So is it at 5 or 15 or 20 or 25? So I didn't know the numbers because it didn't tell me. It just said pennies, nickels, and dimes, whatever. So I couldn't solve the puzzle without like asking. And that's kind of bad puzzle design because it's culture specific. It's kind of accidentally bad puzzle design.
But then again, it's like if you know your target audience, you could make these like advantages.
Yeah, that's true.
If you only point this game towards Americans, they're the ones
that's
that
correct.
are gonna get
This
it.
one wasn't though, but yeah, you're right. You can play on cultural stuff as well, of course. But I don't know. There was no reason to not just print a number on the little coins in the game just to help out the international audience in that case.
I played the original Quest for Glory, which is a Sierra adventure RPG. And at one point you have to enter this wizard's house, and guarding the house is a gargoyle. And the gargoyle asks you questions. And I was like 10 when I played this. So I was basically just guessing these questions, and I couldn't look them up online because we couldn't do that back then. And the questions, again, this was a medieval fantasy, serious but with a dash of humor.
Yeah,
and the questions were stuff like, what is the mean flight speed of an unladen swallow? What?
10.
No, you have to answer, is it an African or a European swallow? Because it's a Monty Python reference.
Yeah.
And you have to know that one. Or, what is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything?
Yeah, 42.
Yeah, but what if you're not a Douglas Adams reader?
Yeah. That becomes more of like a trivia pop quiz kind of thing rather than a puzzle.
Yeah, where you kind of have to be in nerd reference pop culture thing.
It gets even more difficult when it's stuff from the past. Like, you can ask me about 70s shows, I'm not gonna have a single fucking clue what you're talking about, even though during the 80s when these games were made, they were probably really popular and a lot of people would know. Right, Mike Wright has written in to say, people like Half-Life because Half-Life and Half-Life 2 revolutionized the industry, and well, personally, I like the story. No, it didn't revolutionize the industry, it barely revolutionized shooters.
Doom was there.
Even if they did, I don't think people liked them because they revolutionized the genre.
Yeah.
I think it might be the other
It
way
might be
around,
the
if
other way around
anything.
Exactly. People like them so much that because of that, it then revolutionized how games are made in the future.
But
holy shit, this new way of making games.
I think
gonna be
Half-Life
hype.
1 really revolutionized the first-person shooter. Because I don't think any game of that kind ever had that kind of storytelling before.
What kind of storytelling?
An actual story.
You're
But
saying
it kind of didn't.
But it kind of did way more than contemporary stuff.
I guess.
I mean,
a little bit,
a
but-
narrative was actually unfolding, stuff was happening, there were characters. In
Yeah.
just about every other shooter in that era, it was you go through levels and you kill shit.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can really think of is Duke Nukem, which didn't really have a story. It kind of did, but it also kind of didn't.
No, it more had locations. Like, the
Yeah.
story was, now you're on a submarine, or the story was, now you're downtown.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I guess you're right.
I don't.
Um,
Half-Life 1 doesn't have amazing storytelling by today's standards, but I think it was kind of revolutionary at the time.
Yeah, I mean, Half-Life 1, to get a bit hyperbolic perhaps, is kind of the Dark Souls of that time in the way it told the story, where there's this universe waiting for you to explore it and sort of discover things about it, but it doesn't have to pause or like you have to read text or anything like that. You kind of discover the story or the universe as you play through it, as things unfold.
I think that's a pretty good comparison. I also think once you take into account like the way the internet is today versus the way the internet was then, I think maybe when you're talking stuff like popularity and just sheer hype, I think Half-Life might be the Dark Souls of its era on that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a reason why Valve is now a globally dominant video games company.
Yeah, because of Hat Fortress.
Pretty much, yeah. Any thoughts, Eliaden?
I think Half-Life 1 was alright, but it was alright like in the sense that it only got so popular because Valve knew how to market it. Yeah, and like if it was any other brand, sort of to say, it wouldn't have gotten so popular.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are arguably better shooters from the same era, but yeah, Half-Life is the one that sort of captured the imagination of the entire fucking industry. So yeah, I suppose Mike Wright is right in some of what he writes. Oh my god, I just did that completely accidentally. I'm so sorry.
You should just have said, I guess Mike is right, and it would have been a clever pun.
Yes. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about our first topic, shall we?
Okay.
Anderson,
Yeah.
do you know anything about this topic?
Yes, I know the very basics.
Okay, introduce it.
Let me outline it. So, Hulk Hogan had sex, which is quite shocking considering
Yes.
that he has a grown daughter. And
Wait, what? Old people aren't allowed to have sex.
Hulk Hogan had sex, and Gawker, which I don't know what is, some kind of news gossip site, I guess,
Yeah.
got a hold of footage of it and decided, you know what, Hulk Hogan is having sex. That's news. People have a right to know, and they put it on the internet. And Hulk Hogan sued them and got $115 million because fuck you.
Loads of money.
Pretty much. That's pretty much correct. Gawker is basically a paparazzi site, gossip site, whatever you want to call it.
Kotaku
It's-
for celebrities.
Yeah, it used to be more about politics, but they kind of shifted gears. Yeah, it's not news to begin with, so nothing they post is newsworthy, but yeah. And yeah, first of all, Hulk Hogan had contacted, or his lawyers had contacted some courts, whatever, and Gawker had been ordered to take it down, but they refused. Like they didn't comply with the court order, so that's why he ended up being able to sue them. He was actually having sex with like his best friend's wife, and his best friend was there at the time. I don't know. It's a very strange and complicated story, but one of my favorite parts is that his friend, the husband of the woman he was having sex with is, I believe, legally known as Bubba the Love Sponge.
What?
He's like a radio host. He goes by the name Bubba the Love Sponge.
Oh, well, I guess he didn't give her enough love.
No. See, Hulk Hogan makes love to his wife and gives her love, and then afterwards, Bubba soaks it up.
Mm.
All right, yeah.
Am I gonna get sued now?
Yes, this is all allegedly. We're merely spinning.
We do
yarns
not.
Of fiction
We
here.
do not condone sponging up other people's love, even if they do give it to your wife.
Well, unless you're into that sort of thing, that's up to you. Yeah, but yeah, Gawker is sort of the parent company that also has Gizmodo or Gizmondo, whatever it's called, IO9, and some other sites. But the important one for us, I'd say, and our audience is Kotaku, which is like the cesspit of games journalism.
Oh, so Gawker is actually related to Kotaku.
Yeah. They own Kotaku. I thought
Right.
you knew that. You just made the connection anyway, which is very astute of you. If
Yeah,
you didn't know they were
I
sort of a subsidiary.
I just figured, like, okay, Gawker sounds like it's Kotaku, except it deals with celebrities instead of video games.
Yeah. I mean, that is literally what it is. But yeah, it's been strange, this entire thing, because American court proceedings are apparently public, which is such a weird concept. Like, there's no way you could watch the court proceedings of some sort of celebrity case here in Sweden. That's all secret. You're not even allowed to take photographies and shit. But there's full YouTube videos of the full, I don't know, 16 hours or whatever, probably more than that. Just recordings of court footage.
Don't you remember O.J. Simpson?
That's true.
The O.J.
Yeah, that is true.
The O.J. Simpson case was like the biggest media thing of its decade.
Yeah. That's so weird. Can we talk about that?
Sure.
Why? In some ways, I guess it's kind of good that court proceedings are public, because it gives transparency to them and stuff, but it also like drags up all these details that
The public maybe don't have a right to know.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, a lawyer has the right to ask you things that are pertinent to the case, but things you wouldn't want to tell the public, especially if you're found innocent. So, like, you might have be accused of killing someone, let's say, but then there's a good explanation for why your DNA was on her, because you were having an affair, and now suddenly that's out in the public, that kind of stuff.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, even if the case has sensitive information, they do it publicly. That seems a bit.
No, I think that they don't do it for children, like underage people. And I'm not sure if you can sort of protest the fact that it's being recorded publicly or anything. I don't know how it works, honestly. But as Anderson said, I mean, the O.J. Simpson case was also public, and I've seen footage from other trials as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's like special cases.
Maybe it's a special case when it's a public figure, but that would make even less sense.
Yeah. It's fucking America. Nothing
Yeah,
makes sense in America.
Yeah. Anyway, I was watching some of these court proceedings, and I'm not really sure why, because I don't really care that much about the case, other than the fact that I want to see Gawker get slapped with a hefty fee, because what they did is pretty unconscionable. But it was really interesting to just watch Hulk Hogan's lawyer. He's such a bully. Like, the way he asks questions. I mean, it must be so annoying to be asked these questions, which I guess is what makes him such a good lawyer.
Can you provide an example?
Yeah, he was asking this guy about who said that, like, he probably wouldn't post the sex tape if it was of a 6-year-old girl or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And then he had made a joke about, like, child rape or something like that in his deposition. And then the lawyer's like, so you had a chance to look at your deposition, right? Yeah? And you didn't want to change this thing? No, I thought it was pretty clear I was joking. So you were joking about raping children.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. But you said that your deposition is accurate, right? It's like trapping him in these rhetorical traps where he sort of has to explain himself in a way where there's no good way of getting out of it. Sort of like the standard, like, have you stopped beating your wife yet? Question. But less obvious than that and actually pertinent to the case.
Do your parents know that you're gay?
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
oldest one.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really interesting seeing it. And so yeah, Hulk Hogan won. And hopefully Gawker, after they do retries, what is it called? Filing...
Appeals.
Appeals, thank you. They'll end up paying a shitload. I'm not too in on the situation, but from what I've heard, it looks like Gawker is basically going to have to fold if they are forced to pay 110 million or whatever.
I really want to be able to sue someone like that and get $100 million, but I haven't found anyone who wants to post details of my sex life online, so I have to do it myself.
All right. Also, one final detail I wanted to mention is that it's super hypocritical. You guys remember the Fappening?
Yeah.
A bunch of celebrities' sex or like nudes and stuff got leaked.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gawker was all like, this is the most horrible thing ever. This is an invasion of their privacy. How dare you misogynists, and so on. Then, with the other side of their mouth, they're posting Hulk Hogan sex tape, which is also a complete breach of privacy.
But that doesn't really surprise me, because isn't that kind of who Gawker are?
Yeah,
because
that's true.
I thought one of the reasons Kotaku got so shunned is that they're basically riding the whole feminist SJW hate video games angle.
Yeah, and combine that with clickbait.
But
basically,
Dope...
So it's clickbait about video games from people that hate video games.
Yeah, they were part of the whole Gamers Are Dead series of articles that got released, where like, it's time to end the gamer identity. Gamers are these misogynistic losers. You shouldn't call yourselves gamers anymore just because you play games. Like, trying to break up the gamer culture or whatever. It was fucking strange.
Dope, I
Yes,
think you're wrong.
Okay.
Gawker are in the right to post Hulk Hogan's video because he's not a woman.
That's true. But there was a woman in the tape as well.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
But she's
anyway,
not important.
she's not a celebrity, so who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's move on. Anderson.
Yeah. So somebody blew up Paris or Brussels or something again? I'm sorry, but these things are happening so often nowadays that I just don't keep up.
That's pretty much true, I guess.
It's just, I notice it in media, like, oh, our thoughts can go out to, oh god, it happened again somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, it's turning into...
I mean, what was the latest one? That was Brussels, like last weekend or something?
Yeah, Brussels.
Yeah.
I think like terrorist attacks don't surprise us anymore.
It's become banal,
Yeah.
which is a really scary thought.
Terrorist attacks have become to Europe what school shootings are to America.
Yeah. That's the perfect analogy. I mean, the news don't even cover all the school shootings in America anymore. Or, well, all the shootings in America anymore, I should say. Because there's too many of them. It's barely news anymore when somebody goes and murders some people.
Well, yeah, but then again, it's not exactly our Europe's fault that the attacks happen. But fucking America legalized weapons, and the weapon control in America is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, gun control in America is retarded.
Yeah, weapon.
But yeah, it's so difficult. I hate my own stance on gun control because it's inconsistent with the rest of my like personal philosophies and ideals, where I value personal freedom basically above everything else. But then at the same time, I want the government to keep guns out of the hands of their citizens, which is not congruent, and it irritates me.
I want people to be able to have guns. I just want there to be stringent standards and requirements.
Yeah,
you have to meet.
Yeah.
Like, I could get a gun here in Denmark, but almost.
If you have a hunting license or something, right?
No, you can also get a handgun, as far as I know. Okay. But it's something like you have to be a sports shooter, and you have to have been a sports shooter for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
You have to. I don't think you're allowed to have any kind of mental illness. You can't have any criminal record, all that stuff. And in America, it's like, did you shoot anyone recently? No. Do you have a driver license? Yeah. Here's your M16 assault rifle. Have fun.
Yeah. I mean, a really good comparison for me is a driver's license. To get a driver's license, you need to go take a test where you prove that you know the rules of the road, and then you actually have to go drive as well. And here you also need to do ice road test and stuff. So it's kind of a long process with 3 different tests in it. And then if you succeed all of those, you get a license, and you can now purchase a potentially deadly weapon known as a car. There is absolutely no reason why being able to purchase a firearm shouldn't have the same kind of stringent requirements as far as...
But my Second Amendment!
Second Amendment is bollocks. I hate the Constitution. The Constitution is the worst thing. I mean, at least the people who hide behind it.
Yeah, but that's the thing,
though. It's
a
document from the fucking, I don't know, 1700s, is it?
The Constitution is fine. The American fetishization of it.
Yes.
Like,
I mean, the Magna Carta is an excellent piece of fucking writing, but...
My Second Amendment, people have the right to bear arms. Yeah. But can we take the right to bear arms and maybe attach some requirements?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's Constitution and not the actual law. Americans don't understand that, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, the Constitution should be a living document. We don't live back then anymore. Guns don't look the same. They had muskets back then. I don't think they wanted every private citizen to have an AR-15. Or if they did, they should have put it in the Constitution.
By the way, I am a petty, sad, vindictive little creature. Mm-hmm. Because I giggled like a schoolgirl when I found out that one of the poster people for pro-guns in USA, this like pretty looking soccer mom basically, that's like, my guns and blah blah blah, and her 4-year-old shot her in the back because she didn't keep her gun out of the child's reach, and I just thought that was so fantastically hilarious. Petty and cruel that I am.
Rules of nature.
Darwin Awards right there, pretty much. But the sad thing is that afterwards, I think she survived at least. She still goes back to it. No, it's fine. This was just an isolated incident. This is not something that happens regularly.
Yeah, but
I feel more safe with my gun here anyway. So it's even worse that she didn't fucking learn from it.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I respect that a little bit.
Why? This stubborn belief that's unshakable that's like a religion. That's dumb.
Yeah, it's like you get shot in the back by your stupid mistake, and they're like, "Oh, it won't happen again."
It literally stabbed her in the back.
Come on, it's obvious that America's real religion is not Christianity. It is their founding fathers and their Constitution. And the only reason the Bible matters so much to them is because it's somehow wormed its way into their national consciousness.
Yeah, it's not like the founding fathers put in the clause about separation of church and state or anything. It's not like America was basically founded on the idea of religious freedom because people who emigrated there weren't allowed to celebrate or worship their own ways and were persecuted in Europe. Nope. It's based on Christian values.
Oh, well.
Christ. We were talking about the terrorist attacks in Brussels and Paris and Turkey and all over the fucking place.
Every time one of these things happen, it always turns up on my Facebook newsfeed. And it's always, whenever one of the really big things happen, like 20 people get shot in Paris or whatever, and you know what happens. Facebook explodes, people change their pictures because having red, white, and blue on your face, that really helps the victims.
Yeah. Je
suis everything. And then there's always someone, that's like, but in Nigeria or Malaysia or whatever, they just killed 5,000 school children by drowning them in their own piss or something equally horrific. Yeah. And we don't get any coverage of that.
Yeah, but those aren't white people.
Yeah, exactly. They don't hit
those aren't people in a country that we talk to. Those aren't your friends on the internet. Those aren't the people you watch on YouTube. Those aren't the countries you might fly to vacation in. It's not scary. It's some other world. I mean, Brussels. I mean, people I know live there. That's scary.
Paris.
They're white.
Hmm.
I've been in Paris. I mean, this could happen to me.
It's so retarded though, because outside of the terrorist attacks, everyone hates Paris and France.
Yeah, it smells like piss.
Yeah, but if something happens, oh, je suis Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh, poor souls. Oh, it's so annoying and hypocritical.
It is in many ways, and obviously I was doing sort of the devil's advocate back then. I totally agree with you, Anderson, or I'm not even sure if you're making that point or if you're just pointing out that other people make that point. But it's totally true that we sort of over-sensationalize these things like crazy. People start fearing for their safety. They start being afraid of going outside because 100 people die in bombings, but they don't pay any attention to the 400,000 people that die every year in cars, like in car accidents. It's this thing where humans value like these explosive events, no pun intended, much more than the sort of mundane everyday stuff that happens.
I think that's a basic tenet of human psychology, though.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So you two, how afraid are you guys of being hit by a terrorist attack?
No.
Slightly,
I'm
not
not
a terrorist
afraid.
attack, but there's been fucking gangs of hoodlums around where I live, like setting fire to cars and shit and robbing women. It's slightly scary.
No, fucking Denmark is chill. Yeah, unless you go to the center where people smell like weed all the time.
It's
pretty good.
It's so weird. It's so weird because I really think Denmark is becoming one of the most Muslim-hating countries in Europe, and
It's true.
and nobody gives a shit for it. I mean, they gave a shit during the Muhammad drawings, and that's like 10 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta admit, there was once I was at a play, which I don't do very often, and I was bored waiting for it to start, and I started like fantasizing about how I would react if a bomb exploded in here, or if somebody like took out a gun and started shooting. So I mean, it's not like it hasn't ever affected me, these things that happen, especially when the Norway, the Breivik, Anders Breivik, whatever, killed all those kids.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of.
The Norwegian guy, right? The blonde one.
Yeah. Because my sister lived in Oslo at the time, so I think there was also some bomb or something in an apartment at the same time. But yeah, so I mean, it affects you, even if statistically it's so insignificant. You know, logically it's not gonna happen to you, almost certainly. It still sort of lingers with you in a way that many other things don't.
Yeah. That's like human nature, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because it affects us, because what if it does happen?
Yeah.
I'm not really affected, but that is because of my psychological defense, which I call refuge in irrelevance.
What does that mean?
That means I'm a person that doesn't matter, living in a place that doesn't matter, in an area that doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, I basically live in not a slum, what's it called? In a ghetto. In these cheap-ass apartments in a town that has no real meaning culturally or anything to Denmark. I mean, if I were...
So if a terrorist is gonna fly a plane into any building in Denmark, it's not gonna be yours.
No, I mean,
it's gonna be,
if I lived across the street from the Danish parliament,
yeah,
I might actually be worried.
Yeah.
It's the same reason I don't give a shit about spiders. I'm in Denmark. They literally cannot harm me. If I lived in Australia, I would be hysterically afraid of spiders. And, moving things, living things.
Oh shit. I guess I should be scared then. I live next to the tallest building in Denmark.
Oh shit, nigga.
What's the tallest building in Denmark?
It's Herlev Hospital.
Oh.
A hospital is the tallest building in Denmark?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like really weird. They don't have tall buildings at all.
I mean, a hospital would be an awful... No, actually, no, let me put it the right way. A hospital would make a great terrorist target.
Yeah,
that is
that
is really a target that would make people feel unsafe.
I mean, if you want to spur an invasion of your country, which a lot of these terrorist attacks genuinely want, or if it's CIA or Korea, let's talk about that later. Attacking a hospital is a very good idea.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're telling me I should buy a handgun?
In Denmark, good fucking luck.
You're an immigrant as well, dude.
Your best shot is probably going to Hell's Angels. They'll probably sell you a handgun.
Alright, yeah, maybe.
I wonder how many illegal firearms there are in Sweden and Denmark. I have no grasp of it. Like, I don't think I could if I tried to acquire a handgun. I mean, okay, I could go on the deep web and do it that way, I suppose, assuming I didn't end up just talking to a cop. But I wouldn't have like a chain of people to talk to that would eventually get me to a person who'd sell me a handgun.
I think I could get drugs and or a handgun. I think I would be able
drugs,
to that.
I could get drugs fairly easily. But a handgun is much more rare than drugs.
I think I could get a gun in Christiania, but I'll have to talk to a lot of people.
Yeah, I think I would know the right people to approach, or I would know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows the right people to approach. I think I could.
Yeah,
but
I don't think I have that chain.
But I couldn't do it in a way where I would feel safe and comfortable doing it. I would have to really go out of my comfort zone. In order to get there. It's not it's not like, oh, I'll just ask my bro, he'll get me one, no problem, man.
Yeah.
I could
Of course we are not advocating purchasing firearms or illegal narcotics. This is all hypotheticals allegedly.
I've actually considered getting a gun.
Oh?
Yeah.
Like legally or
legally.
Oh. Yeah, me too.
I'll just be the normal weep and get
I wish I
katana.
had a shooting club, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's like a sports shooting club around here. There are a few, but none that seem interesting. It's mostly like either really old people or really young people, like 14-year-olds or 60-year-olds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had a pang of feeling American the other day. I think it was Saturday. Like,
were you eating bacon at the time?
No. I was pulling into a parking lot with my girlfriend, and it struck me, I miss my rifle.
You had a rifle?
I had a rifle. Well, I didn't own it, but I had it. It was mine when I was in the military. Like, it was my responsibility. And I missed it.
Why?
I just missed the mind-numbing ritual of, maintenance on it. Just cleaning it and taking care of it, oiling it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't think I've ever done that before. And of course, my first thought was, I miss my rifle. And my second thought was, oh my god, I'm turning into an American.
No, I can see that. I'm actually pretty into gun culture. As a spectator, I suppose. I've shot guns once, I believe. Like skeet, like clay things, with some hunting rifle. But I was well younger than I am now, and yeah. But I really enjoyed the culture of guns, the aesthetics of guns and that kind of stuff. I watch a lot of like YouTube videos and read about them and so on. I find them fascinating, the mechanics and design of them, how they've developed through history and sort of how technology is involved in them and so on, which really makes me wish that we had the framework for actually owning guns here, because I'd probably be the kind of person who would like to go to a firing range if it was not so extremely sort of obstructive to do it.
I think I feel about guns almost the same way I do about drugs, in that I don't mind them. I might even be a little interested myself. But what's really off-putting to me, what I really don't like, are the people that are really into it. Like gun nuts, like when chat sometimes, the dope chat sometimes devolves into just people posting pictures of rifles and just wanking over this and this trigger system or whatever. I don't know, for some reason that annoys me more than people nerding over all kinds of other stuff. It's just, it seems like such an, I don't know, autistic, retarded, asinine thing to obsess over.
Yeah,
and
that
probably makes me an asshole, but
I think you genuinely just hate anyone who's unironically excited about things. Like, that's a very common thing. But yeah, it's...
So the conclusion is I am, in fact, an asshole.
Yeah. I thought that was established a long time ago.
Yeah, self-evident.
Yeah. Eliaden, are you into guns?
Yeah, I used to play a bit of paintball.
Of course he's into guns. He plays CS.
Yeah, and yes. But like, if I ever get the money for it, I'm definitely gonna start playing airsoft and paintball regularly. It's a pretty cool sport. Can I call it a sport even?
Yeah,
It's pretty
sure.
cool. Like it gets you pumped up.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
feel American. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. But like guns, I wouldn't own a gun probably. I don't know.
Alright.
I don't feel like the type that would shoot a guy in his face.
See, that's the funny thing, because I'm
Well-
not really into gun culture. I don't find guns all that interesting, but I would own a gun.
I would own a gun, but I'd never shoot it at a person. Like, not even in self-defense, unless I was lethally threatened, I guess. But
I would.
that's one of the most disgusting things about, especially Southern American gun culture, or like the stand your ground, castle doctrine, that kind of stuff. Where if some dude breaks into your house, steals your TV, and he's running across your lawn carrying the TV, you're legally allowed to shoot him. That's retarded as fuck, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you're allowed to defend your property with lethal force, which is no. You can't kill a guy for stealing your TV. That is not fair. That's not just. That's not justice. That's not self-defense. That's like maniacal. And so many of these sort of gun nuts, I guess you could call them in America, are like, they're salivating, just slavering at the mouth at the thought of getting to pull their gun and shoot a quote-unquote bad guy.
They just put TVs on their front lawn and wait.
No, but to the point where, like, if their grandpa or something comes for an unexpected visit and, like, unlocks the door with the key he has, it's dark, he walks in, and then suddenly they shoot him because they think he's an intruder. Like,
I can kind of follow it, because I would love to shoot someone.
Okay. Hypothetically,
no, I think he means it seriously.
I wouldn't like to shoot someone. I think I like people too much to shoot them.
Yeah, see, I hate people. I can like a person, and there are a lot of persons that I like, but people as a group, I fucking hate people with the burning fury of 1,000 suns.
Oh,
Yeah, but isn't the gun a bit impersonal?
Oh yeah, and
Wouldn't it
I
be
mean,
more fun to, like,
I would
stab someone.
yes,
or
I would
something
love
if
to
you're gonna
shoot
go down
someone,
that
but I
route?
would love to stab someone as well, or choke them out. Imagine throwing someone off the building, just standing there and just hearing the snap when they land on their feet 6 stories below.
Oh Jesus!
all right.
We're getting pretty grim here.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, there's the Call of the Void thing, which is not exactly applicable to what you're saying, but I think a lot of people would recognize it within themselves. This sort of impulse of just inflicting violence, inflicting harm on somebody, just for their own amusement or because they were pissed or something like that.
Oh yes, if I had poor impulse control, I would be locked up for life. I have that a lot.
Yeah?
Yes.
I can imagine. It's a good thing we have laws, eh?
It is a good thing we have laws. I mean, that is
If there wasn't the fear of consequences, I don't think you'd be alone in
the whole
doing all
the
sorts
whole
of-
thing. Oh, punishment doesn't work. We need to rehabilitate. Well, to a certain level. I mean, punishment might not stop the really bad eggs who would be doing it anyway, but it stops me.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I imagine Sir Anderson as my Shadowrun character now. Just slashes people left and right without even asking them what's up.
That's a nice segue. Let's talk about Shadowrun.
Alright, Shadowrun.
Yeah, Eliaden, tell me about Shadowrun.
It's so cool, man. Like, at first I thought it was really nerdy and put off, basically. But
Yeah.
then when we played it, and when I watched Dread as well,
Mhm.
it was so cool. Like, it was drawing me in. It was so weird.
Yeah.
Like,
So for people's information, Shadowrun is a game system for a tabletop RPG. It has also been turned into various video games. And this weekend, me and Eliaden and a few other people just had our first game of it. And I also quite love it. It's this weird combination of cyberpunk and fantasy, where you're in the future, where you can like have cyber implants and like vibro swords and automated drones and stuff like that. But at the same time, there's also dwarves, elves, and various others.
And let's not forget magic.
Exactly. There's also magic and spirits
and
things like that.
I don't get why you like it, though, because I remember in chat someone brought up Cyberpunk 2020, and you were hating pretty hard on that, but Shadowrun is basically Cyberpunk 2020 plus magic and elves.
I don't mind Cyberpunk 2020. Don't think it's a good system because it's so old. At least the version of it I'm familiar.
Oh yeah,
with.
mechanically it's shit. But that's not what you were shitting on in chat. You were shitting on like the premise and the setting.
It's basically retro Cyberpunk in a way. Like wireless internet and stuff like that is like this crazy future tech in the source book I read.
Yeah, that's
cell phones weren't like a common thing. So it's like, ooh, look at this future. It's at 40 years in the future. Now you can call people wirelessly. Whoa! I don't know. It just seems so cheesy to me when I read through it.
That's because it's probably the most Gibson-esque system I've seen.
What's Gibson? That's some author?
William Gibson, the author of Neuromancer and quite a few other books, and he is... I don't think it's unfair to say that Gibson is to cyberpunk what Tolkien is to fantasy. No, he wasn't the first one that did it. He just defined the identity of the genre for a long time to come.
All right, that's fair enough. I mean, Cyberpunk has inspirations from all sorts of science fiction and also like noir.
It's basically a lot of them piled up in a single genre.
Yeah. What's the guy Asimov? Who did the iRobot and that kind of stuff. Asimov. There's a lot of influences of sort of his works, at least in some Cyberpunk. But then it's also sort of these like grainy black and white detective films, you know, where the main character is played by Humphrey Bogart, and he always smokes and it always rains.
Yeah,
like
future noir.
Yeah. I quite like it. But then, Shadowrun is quite special in that it also has these very fantasy elements.
That's really the reason I never got into it. I found the mix of... Basically, it took two genres I liked and combined them in a way that I found jarring.
That's exactly what I thought before I actually tried it. Like, I didn't think I'd like it as much as I do, but it all meshes together incredibly well. It does kind of seem like, I don't know, putting sugar on your bacon, you know, some weird combination like that. It doesn't really work, but in the end, you just get this delicious candied bacon that's actually really good.
Sugar on my bacon. I should try
Sugar on my bacon.
Well, maybe I'll try it one day, but nobody ever invites me to play games, so...
Shut up! I've invited you 100 times, but you're always too busy, especially these days.
Yeah. I just wanted to bitch, okay? Give me that.
You said you'd played the Shadowrun video games.
I have played... I'm not going to say the first one that came out, because I'm pretty sure the first Shadowrun came out in 78 or something.
No, it was on the SNES, I think, the first actual Shadowrun
or before that, maybe on like an Amstrad or something.
Yeah. There might have been some other one, probably was.
But the first recent one that came out from, I don't know.
Was that Shadowrun Returns?
Yeah.
Or was that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because they had the ancient game, which was just called Shadowrun, and this was Shadowrun Returns.
Yeah. Right.
And it is an isometric turn-based RPG.
Sort of like Fallout 1 and 2, right?
Fallout 1 and 2 or XCOM, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure.
And it, to my understanding, again, I am no master of the Shadowrun rules, but to my understanding, it seems to lean very close to the actual rules of the game.
Yeah, I think it is sort of like how Baldur's Gate and those games used AD&D as the basis of all the dice rolls.
So it's actually, you're actually playing the role-playing game in the video game. I found the story very cool. Gameplay, so, didn't hate it. It didn't blow me away. I mean, it's an RPG in a computer game. What do you expect? Yeah. Story was pretty cool. I got the follow-up, Dragonfall. I haven't gotten around to playing it because I kind of want to stream it, and I just haven't had the time.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to it.
Would you recommend playing it? I've been thinking about actually playing through them, Dragonfall and then also Hong Kong if I end up liking them.
I can't recommend Dragonfall or Hong Kong because
Well,
I haven't played them. So I can only
but the
speak
base
about
game, at
Shadowrun
least.
Returns. For a big fat nerd like you, I would 100% definitely recommend it.
Wow.
You like the noir feel and the kind of bleak struggle, and the game has quite a bit of that. Basically, the bleak hopelessness is how and why you get into the whole story, so it follows up on that very nicely. You like the fantasy sci-fi mix that I found off-putting, and I like the game despite that bit being off-putting. So for you, that would just be another plus. I would say, I'm not saying you're gonna like the game this much, but recommendation-wise, I'll say the game is a 9 out of 10 for you.
All right, awesome.
And, actually, that depends. How hung up are you on graphics?
Meh.
Okay, because I think it has graphics maybe on the level of Xenonauts.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as they're usable, that's my primary concern.
You're golden then.
Yeah. All right, cool. I might actually end up streaming that game.
I would definitely love to tune in for that.
Yeah, me too. I really want to learn more about the universe and all.
Yeah.
The only thing about the sci-fi fantasy mix that I really love about Shadowrun, and I could basically drop the entire fantasy part of Shadowrun, just have Shadowrun as a pure, straight cyberpunk, with the exception of adding in my one favorite thing.
Which is...
Dragons.
Dragons.
I find the idea of dragons in a modern or near future setting fantastic and horrifying. Just imagine just a dragon strafing over and using its breath down a crowded city street. What would that do?
Yeah. And
Damage.
then on top of that, they have human forms where they become the heads of these mega corporations, which are basically more powerful than nations and stuff.
Yeah, and they have
It's sort of like these super intelligent creatures from like
and they have
D&D or
they
something
have
like
1,000 years of experience. They know what
yeah.
they're doing. No matter what plan you come up with, they've probably faced it 3 times already.
Yep. Yeah. I agree. They're really interesting.
But I have a thing for dragons. I also love when I game master games. One of my favorite things is when I get to roleplay as really inhuman creatures like gods, fairies, or dragons.
Fairies?
Yeah, I mean my fairies. They're not small cute pixies. They're fae. They are the people who they're red caps, and they have red caps because they bathe their caps in the blood of people. Not because they're evil, but because they have to do that. That's how they function.
Or they just like the color red.
Or they just like the color red.
That's the easiest way to get it. Yeah, I mean, in my experience with your D&D, with you as the GM, your dragons have been fantastic. I still remember quite a few of them. We ended up allying with a green dragon, I think it was, like a Master of Illusions or something like that.
But you really didn't want to.
And we never could trust him. Every time we talked to him, it was like...
And the weird thing was, he never betrayed you, but every time he didn't betray you, that just gave you cause to trust him even less. And that was just such a success, because that is exactly what I was going for. The ally that you allied with out of necessity, and you never felt safe around him.
Yeah. I should have known the Shadowrun motto, or one of the Shadowrun mottos.
The Johnson betrays
Never
you?
deal with a dragon.
Oh, yeah. So are you running the stereotypical Shadowrun game?
I did a one-off.
Okay.
We did 2 days of gaming, or 2 evenings of gaming, basically.
Because the stereotypical Shadowrun is the team gets hired to get an item or some information or a person extracted from a corporate facility. And then they get betrayed by the person that hired them. That is just the...
Eliaden, explain what happened instead.
So basically, we were hired to get into an apartment building and kill a woman.
Yeah, this is more street level, by the way. Like they weren't dealing with corporations, but rather rivaling gangs, so a bit like lower power level.
Yeah, so we decided we should go and scout first, but that escalated really, really quickly, and we just I just put my armor on and headed in.
Yeah.
Uh,
Things went down when they were scouting.
So-
despite the fact they were spotted, the guy told him like, "Hey, back off, buddy. You shouldn't be here." And then, fuck it, we'll just kill him and barge in through the window, basically.
So they were supposed to sneak in and assassinate someone, and they just did a frontal assault on the building.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
basically.
They were also gonna be paid extra if they left the guards alive. So they were really supposed to sneak in and assassinate somebody, but no. And so you blast your way in, kill
Yeah.
a bunch of the goons, find the girl, and then instead of killing her,
Yeah, she convinced us, her husband even, that is a gang leader, will pay way more than our current job. So we decided we should keep her and then head to one of our places and decide what we should do.
yeah. So instead of
So
their employer betraying them,
So instead of sneaking in and murdering someone, they kick in the door, blast their way in, and kidnap that person.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, of course, the one person they were supposed to kill is alive.
Sounds like players, man. I could have run so many good plots and good stories if players hadn't come and fucked them up.
It was really fun, though. It was really fun.
Yeah, that is half the fun.
Yeah. In the end, they set up a meeting with her boyfriend, and turns out he's not nearly as rich as she was pretending. They were given like a bunch of empty credit cards, basically, and they start fighting. But they're in like a high security area, so none of them have brought guns. So they literally start punching each other. The girl runs away. One of the players runs after her, and well, it's kind of fucked now, so we might as well kill her. This guy isn't gonna pay for her, so let's just finish our original job a little bit late. He pushes her into oncoming traffic. She gets run over and dies. And it was quite brutal. Eliaden, also your character, tell us what happened.
Okay, so one of our party members went out after the girl, and I was left inside with another party member fighting 3 enemies.
Yep.
The other one left as well and called a cab or some shit. I don't remember.
Yeah, the enemy, he backed off, like, all right, buddy, let's just calm this down, because the girl had just been killed, so they sort of realized that this isn't worth dying for, so they've sort of agreed to stop fighting. That's why the other guy left. But then you stayed.
But then I stayed. I wanted to kill the guy because
I believe you said something like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna kill Carlos."
Yeah, Carlos wanted to trick us, and I wanted to kill him for that. So I went.
Actually, if you're a Shadowrunner, that seems completely reasonable to make it to make an example out of someone to show him that he can't fuck over your team. I mean, that's
Yes.
your future credibility you're working on there. You should definitely kill Carlos.
That's very true. However, worth noting, this was a high security area, and the police were very close by.
You
They
should
heard
probably
sirens off in the distance.
you should probably back off and kill Carlos at a better time.
Yeah, perhaps so.
No, but Carlos was one hit away from that because I had
Yeah.
bone lacings in my character. So my hits were physical. So
Yeah,
basically,
your skeleton is basically replaced with a metal skeleton, so
Yeah.
he punches for real damage instead of just doing stun damage.
and like Carlos was one hit away.
Yep.
But then I glitched 3 times in a row.
Yeah, a glitch is like a fumble. He basically rolled 0, except it's a d6 system, so he rolled a bunch of 1s.
Yeah.
And he ends up being knocked unconscious instead. The others have to drag him out.
It was
It was
good. Though.
overall a pretty good day.
Carlos dies in the end though, so that was
Yes,
pretty good.
yes, he does, because he refuses to comply with the police when they show up, so they just kill him.
Because that's how the police works in a high security area in this kind of setting.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They basically like, put your hands up, and he was like on the floor crying because he just seen his wife die. And then they just pumped him full of lead. It was also sort of exactly at the end of the session, so it was sort of the epilogue where he gets blasted. They end up stealing a cab and sort of bail out of it. And they see this happen in the rearview mirror, basically.
This sounds like a Danish action movie.
It was fun. Nothing went according to plan, but I mean that's the part of the fun in running RPGs, I guess.
Yeah.
Our poor Decker tried to make things right so much, but we just ignored everything he did.
Like I said before, players always ruin my carefully laid out plots, but that's the fun of it.
Yeah. It was kind of funny, like, hey Epsilon, can you get this elevator going? Like, all right, I'm on it. A decker is basically somebody he's hacking over the internet, whatever. He's trying to hack into the elevator. And then the other two players are like, hey, there's a staircase right here. We could just walk up. All right, let's just walk up then. And then the poor hacker's still hacking that elevator like 5 minutes later. Like, all right, got the elevator going.
Guys?
Well, we don't need it anymore. Anyway, yeah, that was a bit of a sidetrack, but it was fun to gush a little bit about Shadowrun. I've been really enjoying it as a GM. I'm going to try it as a player next with somebody else stepping into the shoes of a GM.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be fun. Yeah.
All right.
All right, shall we move on to the next topic?
Yeah. Who's played it?
I
Not
have
me.
not.
Me either.
I have seen
next
videos of it.
Yeah, I've seen streams of it on our channel even.
Oh, yeah.
The game in question is Dark Souls 3. And there's some real fuckery going on with the release dates of that game. Like some serious fuckery.
I don't know. They said April at first.
The game is out in Japan right now on PC and Xbox and PlayStation. You can import it for your PlayStation if you want it, or you can buy it online for your PC, obviously, or pirate it, allegedly. Or you can buy it on Xbox One by using a VPN, and you get the fully localized English version. Because if you buy the Japanese version, obviously it has Japanese text, even though it has English talking in it. But yeah, it's really wonky. The fact that you can get it early. On Xbox, you can get the English version. On other platforms, you can get the Japanese version. I don't understand why this was not a global release.
Yeah.
It is really strange. And it is doubly strange for the fact that this is fucking Dark Souls. Like, so much of the experience of Dark Souls is, like, the exploration when the game launches. Like, finding things, especially now that it's a new game and people have gotten used to how these things work. You're gonna work together. Like, you see these spirits and messages and shit, like the online community is gonna be like revved up on release, but now there's people who are like 2-3 weeks ahead of us others who just wanted to buy the pre-order on Steam.
I think that's a bit of a fail, but as long as you keep yourself pure for the game, like the
keep your virginity
yeah as long as you do that, you're gonna be fine, because there's gonna be a lot of people playing it on Steam.
I am so far behind.
Have you finished Dark Souls 2 yet?
I have finished Dark Souls 1 like 2-3 months ago.
Oh boy.
I have not touched Dark Souls 2 yet.
Oh,
Well,
why not?
you definitely
Are you
should.
skipping it?
I am going to play it. I'm going to stream it. Not on Dopelives though, on my own channel, because there's been enough Dark Souls on Dopelives, and there's going to be like a million Dark Souls 3 streams now, so I'm going to do that on my own channel. But you basically have 3 groups of people when it comes to Dark Souls 2. You have, it's shit, don't play it. And I'm not going to listen to those, because I am going to play it once, and then I'll decide if I hate it or not.
Those people are wrong.
Yeah, then there are 2 groups. There's the group that says it's crap without Scholar of the First Sin. Scholar of the First Sin improves so much that there's no real point in playing it without. And there's the group that says Scholar of the First Sin completely ruins an otherwise fine game. Whatever you do, don't get Scholar of the First Sin.
I don't fit into any of these categories.
Yeah, I think.
So I picked someone. I picked a person and said, okay, this is the person who has played these games a lot, whose opinion I trust because I like his taste, and I asked him, what should I do? And he said definitely get Scholar of the First Sin.
Does it actually affect the base game? I thought it was just a new area.
No, Scholar of the First Sin is basically another game, I think.
Scholar of the First Sin is like an ultimate version of Dark Souls 2, which includes Dark Souls 2 and all the DLC, but it also has like changes in enemy placement and game balance and stuff. It's basically like the updated, patched version of the game.
Remastered gold version or something.
Yeah, Ultimate Edition. Super Turbo Ultimate Omega Edition.
I did not know that. I have not played any of the Dark Souls 2 DLC. And I don't know if I ever will.
So what I'm doing is I am not seriously. I'm doing a vote thing on my channel where people can vote on what I do as the next project. And Dark Souls 2 is not being considered a serious contender for those votes until I have Scholar of the First Sin.
Alright, fair enough.
And I'm gonna stay completely off Dark Souls 3. When I have Scholar of the First Sin, then fairly soon after that, I will probably play Dark Souls 2. When I have finished Dark Souls 2,
yeah, got it.
Only then will I even consider looking at Dark Souls 3.
Alright.
Understand.
So you don't care a single iota about this release date bullshit
No.
that's going on? Not even in the hypothetical where basically Namco Bandai is screwing over a bunch of loyal fans.
In principle, I'm just thinking, wow, is this a fighting game? Because apart from Street Fighter V, Japan have gotten every fighting game 3 to 6 months early.
That's true.
So well, they didn't get Mortal Kombat, obviously.
Yeah, and one of the things that make it even worse is the fact that reviewers have gotten the full English copy of the game, and it is available for Xbox if you use a VPN. So I mean, it's not like they need to finish it or anything.
No, it's being artificially held back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the only real word for that, like the technical term, is bullshit.
Yeah, Bulldrek. All right, Eliaden, I haven't heard from you in a while. Do you like the Dark Souls, Blood Souls, Born series?
Yeah, I love
games?
It's the best.
Yeah? Which one's your favorite?
I haven't played Dark Souls 3, but until now it was Dark Souls 1.
Right.
I liked Bloodborne a bit. It was pretty cool to like step away from the Dark Souls style and just do something different.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the fucking fighting was so much faster and everything was difficult-ish. Well, it's really nice innovation. I think it's great for the development of the series. I don't know. It does even Bloodborne does it even count as a Dark Souls game?
No.
It counts as a Dark Souls game as much as Demon Souls does, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a different universe, but it's the same kind of game engine and same kind of game.
It is
a different universe.
It is another version of the FromSoft game.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's fair, I suppose. But I can't wait for Dark Souls 3. I'm gonna be way too poor to buy it, but I'm gonna pirate it. Allegedly.
I resent the fact that Demon Souls and Bloodborne will probably, most assuredly, never be on PC.
Oh, yeah. Well, unless you emulate it.
'Cause I'm poor. If I wasn't poor, I would honestly be tempted to buy a PlayStation 4 to play Bloodborne and nothing else.
But what about that one horror game where you have a horror film and characters?
Oh, that's not on PC?
I don't know.
Okay, I mean, if it is,
maybe it is. Actually.
If that isn't on PC, then yeah, in this hypothetical universe where I could afford to just buy a PS4, I would probably play that as well, because that seems like a fun concept.
Yeah.
But PS4s are cheap nowadays, aren't they?
So's your mom.
Hey.
Ooh, snap!
Yeah, they are, but I'm on welfare. I'm very poor.
I suppose.
I do have a PS3, so I could go out and just get bargain bin pre-owned Demon Souls. But if I'm gonna play Demon Souls, I kind of want to stream it. And I know there are people out there who would definitely take pleasure in watching me stumble through Demon Souls. And I can't stream from my PS3.
Yeah.
You gotta get a capture card.
Yeah, but that's back to the whole I don't have money.
True.
Everything can be solved by upgrading hardware, if you can afford
Why
it.
is everyone in Denmark poor?
I don't think they are. I think your sampling here is quite narrow.
I think it's because those people in Denmark who are successful enough to not be poor generally don't hang out on Dopelives and do nerdy shit.
Fucking
That's probably true. That's probably true.
So Dark
yeah,
Souls
I mean,
3 is pretty nice, yeah.
I've not really been super hype about Dark Souls 3. I'm gonna play it, of course. Dark Souls 1 and 2 were good games. 2 slightly worse in some aspects, but also a lot better in other aspects. Hopefully 3 will be sort of a mix of both good things. From what little I've heard about it, it seems to be sort of leaning in that direction.
That sounds nice. I've actually
some of the gameplay improvements from 2, but having more of the sort of focused level design and so on from 1. But now knowing that there's like a remastered version, I almost want to go back and replay Dark Souls 2, see if it's better.
Color of the first sin is definitely a bit better, I think. Taking away it has improved graphics and all, but
it also fixes the FPS bug.
FPS bug?
Yes, there is, because I think it's like base Dark Souls 2 is 60 FPS, but by raising it from 30 FPS on console to 60 FPS on PC, they accidentally introduced a bug so that you know how much weapon durability matters in Dark Souls 2 compared to 1.
Yeah.
And apparently in base Dark Souls 2, every weapon degrades durability twice as fast as it's supposed to because of this bug.
That's such a wonky programming issue. Like, I don't understand, why are you basing things off the frame rate? That seems so weird. But yeah, I understand it. It happens a lot.
And
it seems like an amateurish thing, though.
And I was told by the guy
from software, PC port.
By the guy whose opinion I trust, which incidentally is Dustbin. He's the one I picked.
Oh my god, you trust Dustbin's opinion?
Yeah, definitely.
You fucking joker.
And he's...
Then again, he does have good taste in dick girls.
He said, like, if nothing else, even if I base it on nothing else, just having that bug fixed is worth waiting for Scholar of the First Sin alone. Plus, I'll have all the DLC, and why would I not want the DLC? I mean, look at Dark Souls 1 and the DLC. The DLC in Dark Souls 1 is fantastic.
Yeah, it's good, except for Calamite, who can suck my dick.
Well, Calamite is easy, actually. What you do...
Is you summon 12 dudes.
Yes, you summon someone with a bow, and then you distract Calamite while the guy with the bow just plinks him down.
Yeah, I hate Calamite. It's the worst designed boss since Gargoyles. Gargoyles are dumb as well.
You know what's my least favorite Dark Souls 1 boss? Kappa Demon.
Oh, yeah, because as soon as you go in, you're dead.
Yeah, I did him yesterday though, and I was trying to do something different. I was trying to go, you know what, fuck strategy, fuck skill, I'm gonna make a character, heaviest armor I can get, full Havels once I can get to it, Wolf Ring for even more poise, Demon's fucking Great Hammer, I'm just gonna tank everything, and using that, I easily first tried Kappa Demon. Just went in, swing, 1 dog dead, 2 dogs dead.
That's good.
I don't think Capra Demon is that difficult.
It isn't that difficult, but it's bullshit.
It is.
The first time you enter that fight, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, if you don't immediately like roll to the left or raise your shield or something, you're fucked. Because you get stuck in the corner, they break your poison, you're dead.
I dislike Capra Demon so strongly that I would rather do Bed of Chaos a second time than do Capra Demon.
Oh god, I forgot about Bed of Chaos. Jesus! Let me just roll dice for an hour, see if I get a 6 times in a row.
Here's the thing. That's wrong.
No, it isn't.
I thought so too, but I have seen a challenge runner do it, and you know there's the trick where you can stand in the middle and do the bombs and yada yada yada. I've seen a guy who can do it without getting hit. And it's not luck. He knows the boss fight so well.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair, but I don't know the boss fight that well.
Well, then get good!
To me, every time I open up, or every time I slide down that fucking ramp, it's like completely random. I don't know what the fuck. I tried to develop some kind of strategy, but no, sometimes I get swiped into a pit, other times I don't. Like, what the fuck? This is completely arbitrary. It feels, I'm not saying it is like this, but it feels like that boss is completely random.
I will happily concede that Bed of Chaos may be the worst boss in the game. I just happen to dislike Kappa Demons more strongly.
Of course, the rebuttal to both of our arguments is simply get good.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, then again, no matter how good you get, you'll still have a least favorite boss fight.
Yeah, it's true. How about you, Ellie? Do you have a favorite or a least favorite?
Yeah. It's not Capra Demon or Bed of Chaos. It's actually the Underground Asylum Demon.
Oh, the Stray Demon?
Why?
The Stray Demon, yeah.
Yeah, the one...
Is that the one that farts when he goes down?
Yeah.
Like...
The one when you return to Asylum.
When you ride the bird.
Yeah.
I found it really fucking annoying. It was because when I played a really flimsy character. So when I dropped down there, I was already like half HP. So he hit me once and I was dead.
You know what?
And I did that a couple of times.
I managed to do him. I know your pain because I did it on my sorcerer run, and my sorcerer is I've leveled his vitality since then to 10, but at that point I had vitality 8, and I don't think I was using any armor. So I literally had to not get hit because any hit would kill, and that's how I did 4 kings as well. It was hard.
Yeah, I don't mind a silent demon or stray demon or whatever, because you can have strategy against it. You can learn the fight and get better. He has quite easily recognizable patterns, although sometimes he seems to use them in weird ways. But every time I die to that boss, it feels like I did something wrong, at least for the most part. That's good boss design. That is not the case for Calamite, that's not the case for Bed of Chaos, and that is kind of the case for the Bell Gargoyles, but it's so early on in the game that it doesn't feel like it's the case. I feel like the Bell Gargoyles, if you look at the difficulty curve of Dark Souls, it's like it starts high, goes upwards, and then it just spikes through the fucking roof as soon as you reach the Bell Gargoyles.
There is a big.
It's really like the trial by fire.
I agree with that, except the
real Dark Souls begins.
I feel
here.
there's a bigger spike. It's later on in the game, but it's also much bigger in my opinion, and it is the spike that I see a lot of people break their necks on. And it is Fat Boy and Slim.
Or
that's true. I really like that fight, though.
I like it as well, but I feel like that is not the hardest part in the game, but the hardest part in the game compared to how experienced you should be at that point. The biggest difficulty spike.
I think I had an easier time with those guys, just because I knew the game better.
But
for some reason,
those two fights fuck with me. If there's one thing I am not comfortable with in Dark Souls, it is being outnumbered.
Welcome to Dark Souls 2, mate.
We'll see.
That's one of the biggest complaints people have about it, that instead of making things harder, they just throw more enemies at you.
Since we're wanking on about Dark Souls anyway, what are your actual favorite fights then?
Eliaden?
In Dark Souls 1 or the Dark Souls 2?
Dark Souls 1.
Dark Souls 1. I don't know. The butterfly was pretty cool, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, but it
was kind of lame, I thought.
No, I liked it. Like it
was cool because it had the awesome music.
It was like you had to attack at certain points.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and you had to dodge. It was my type of fight.
I loved the butterfly just because in a game like Dark Souls, I was really not prepared to face anything as dainty and pretty looking as that. That really took me off guard first time I saw it.
Yeah, it's true. Is that an optional boss?
It is optional,
yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think where the key... That depends. I don't remember. The key you get after Butterfly, is that the key to get down to Havel, or is the key to get down into depths? Because if it's the key to get down into Lower Berg and depths, then... No, not depths. Lower Berg is what I mean. If it's the key to get down into Lower Berg, then it's not optional.
I think it's for Havel, I'm pretty sure.
If it's the key for Havel, then it's completely optional.
And anyway. Personally, my favorite boss is probably the DLC boss that you fight in like a circular room. I think it's after
Artorias.
The dog. Is that Artorias?
Yes.
The one with the sword in his back?
Yeah, the guy who like...
That is
does
Sir
leap
Knight
slams and shit at you.
Artorias of the Abyss.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, I think that fight was so... It was like thematically really cool as well. I hear some people complaining that you can parry him or something and he becomes super easy, but I never did that, so for me it wasn't...
My favorite fight of Dark Souls 1 has by far got to be Artorias as well. It's just... It felt like... I mean, it was really frustrating. I was stuck on him for 2 hours. I was cursing and spitting and whining, but... Beating him was really satisfying, and it just felt like maybe the best designed fight in the game. I will have to say that a second, though, distant second, but second, has to be the final boss. Not for the mechanics of the fight, not for how the boss looks, but
for the run-up?
The run-up and the music.
Yeah.
The music just... I mean, the music in Dark Souls throughout is amazing, but in that final fight... just everything you've done so far just turns so bleak and tragic and reminds you what a hopeless state this entire universe is in.
It's true. It's true.
Dark Souls sound design in general is off the hook.
Yep.
I have to agree with that.
When you hear those, like, the people with the staff, I don't know what they're called, like the
channelers
or whatever.
Channelers?
Yeah, channelers. Yeah, when they do their dance and you hear it off in the distance before you actually see them. That's such a creepy, eerie feeling, like hearing this thing and not knowing what it is, and then you find it, and it's, I don't know. I just really, that's something really memorable for me. That first time you saw the channeler making that noise.
The first time you actually see him, isn't it in?
It's right before Belgar goes.
Yep.
In the Undead Burg.
Yeah. I mean, in Dark Souls has a lot of cool stuff, but there's also some dumb design in it, like Capra Demon.
So, what is your favorite boss fight from Dark Souls 3?
3.
I've not played it.
So
I've
what is
watched it a little bit.
So what is your favorite boss fight that you hope is in there? Is what I mean.
Probably when they reuse Smough and Ornstein again, like they didn't do. No, that was a terrible fight actually. That was really
dumb. What do you mean? The one where they used the single one, or where?
Yeah. With a dragon lancer or whatever.
Yeah.
This might be spoilers for Anderson, so I'll try to keep it vague. But yeah,
I've seen one boss fight from 2.
Which one?
There's a guy called Dragon Rider.
Yeah,
basically
I think that's him we're talking
about. It's a big guy in armor with a shield.
Oh no! Oh right, okay, yeah, with the lava circles or whatever.
It's not lava; it's water.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
Anyway, he seemed.
That's one of the things that was kind of cool.
Really easy.
He was kind of easy, but that's one of the things Dark Souls 2 did better. I think the boss rooms were generally they had like interactive elements in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
More like there was sometimes there's water, sometimes there's lava, sometimes there's other hazards you have to navigate.
And also like when you should cover your ears, Sir Anderson.
Be vague if you're gonna talk about it.
When you fight the guy in the dark room, you can light it. Do you remember?
Yeah. That's cool.
The fight I'm hoping they have in Dark Souls 2 is a better done version of Sif.
Is that the dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
And by that I don't mean a big dog with a sword. I mean a fight where if you know the story, if you actually know the lore of what's going on, you will feel like a piece of shit. And by better done, I mean better done in the sense that you have more of a realistic chance of getting to know the story going in.
Have you ever wanted to fight Sif while also fighting like 20 regular enemies on the same screen?
No.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Have you ever done the Dark Souls 1 DLC and then fought Sif?
No, I don't think I did it in that order.
The intro animation for the Sif fight is different. You should try it.
Oh, that's cool. Right, I think we've been talking about Dark Souls for a sufficient amount of time. Although we could easily go for longer. I'm not even like a huge Dark Souls fanboy, but I think it's a great game. It's way more memorable than the second one. I hope 3 is better. Anyway, final topic, or at least final topic that we've written down, is a guest topic from Eliaden. Why don't you tell us what it is?
The topic I chose was stereotypes in general, because I have a bit of difficulties when I, as a Romanian, go into the virtual reality world.
Are you a vampire?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's my whole point.
No, he's not a vampire, he's a gypsy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's. I mean, if the answer to "Are you a vampire?" is no, that means he's a gypsy, right? What other kind of Romanians are there?
But I mean, like general stereotypes apply to every country, right? Like people think Swedish people are
drunk
pussies.
Yeah, like cucks.
Yeah. And what bothers me the most about the Romanian ones aren't that they're offensive in any way. I think I joke a lot about being a gypsy as well. But it's that you're uninformed when it comes to them.
Yeah, well, of course. That's why you use stereotypes instead of having an informed opinion. That's literally what they are, aren't they? Like, they're shorthand. If you don't know anything about some individuals, you just ascribe them certain characteristics from your sort of preformed image. which is kind of why stereotypes exist, I'd say.
And I'm not trying to defend my country in any way. I think Romania is a piece of shit as well.
I'm not trying to defend my country in any way.
No.
That sounded so Romanian too.
What? How did that sound Romanian? Why are you being such a stereotypical bitch?
I don't know, dude. It could have come straight out of the mouth of a Romanian. That was like typical. If you were Serbian, you'd have been like, "You don't talk shit about Serbia. Serbia's strong."
Okay.
No, Romanians are all pussies.
Speaking
right?
of stereotypes.
All right. Danish stereotypes.
Yeah, what are Danish
What are Danish?
stereotypes?
I don't know. All I know is the fucking
racist.
language.
Oh, we've actually gotten that stereotype? It's about time.
I think so. It's about time.
I mean, Danes, in my mind, if I think of a stereotypical Dane, he's got like those pants with shoulder straps, suspenders or whatever, made out of like
Overalls.
No, not
Suspenders
overalls.
is the word, yeah.
Yeah, like jeans suspenders on. And then like this woolen shirt, and he's got like a hat made of straw. He's standing with a pitchfork next to his pig farm.
So a redneck, basically.
Well, not like the American style redneck, but sort of a redneck actual farmer from like the 1800s for some reason is my mental image of a
The
Dane.
funny thing is, that is the stereotype that the rest of Denmark have about Western Denmark.
Maybe it's true then.
I have to say, definitely the stereotypical Swede has a mullet. to the point where a mullet is affectionately known as svenskagarn, which it translates into Swede yarn.
That's great.
Swede yarn. My favorite.
And then a Swede is a drunken lout who bumbles about, pissing and puking in our streets because he came over for cheap beer.
Yeah, I mean that's not a stereotype; it's accurate.
That is the old. I mean, there's the new stereotype that the whole internet has, that Swedes are, Nazi feminist cucks. But the other thing that's been going on since I was a kid. That's the stereotypical Swede. Stereotypical Romanian is trying. He's not a gypsy, but he's afraid of gypsies, and he's still trying to sell you cheap, crappy
Baubles?
bracelets and baubles his daughter made or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
And he's poor. He's poor as fuck.
I'm certain of this. If Romanian...
No, he's not poor. I'm certain of it.
No.
He's made a person. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I know that's not at all what you wanted to
If
say.
a Romanian guy is in another country, he's either because rarely he wants to study, he wants to work, or he's there to steal. Most of the times, he's there to steal.
Yeah, but my stereotype of Romanians isn't Romanians here. It's Romanians in Romania.
Oh,
They are poor people who try to sell you knickknacks. But that's probably because, as Danes, when do we see Romanian people?
Yeah.
When we are tourists. So our collective cultural stereotype of a Romanian is the kind of Romanian that tourists interact with.
Anderson, you don't live in Copenhagen, do you?
Nope.
There's shit tons of Romanians in Copenhagen.
Do you have a map of Denmark?
Yeah.
I live in Silkeborg. Or
Is that,
Silkeborg.
Above...
It's a lot to the left of Copenhagen.
Yes, it is on the peninsula, on Jutland.
Okay. So you're basically one of those guys with forks.
Stereotypically, yes.
And actually, I remember seeing a pitchfork lean against the side of your apartment when I was there.
Yeah, that was for other purposes.
You don't have a gun, but you have a pitchfork.
Oh, Dope slept with me when he was here.
Ah, kinky.
He and I slept alone in my bedroom.
With a pitchfork.
That's true. And then actually outside there was a couple guys sharing a bed as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, that sounds so romantic.
I'm sure it was.
Nice.
So
I mean, it's Denmark. It's Denmark. Homosexuals are allowed here.
Yeah. Encouraged even. There's actually a stereotype that I believe in. I don't know if I may have said this before. There is a racial stereotype that I believe in.
Okay.
And that is that most black people like fried chicken. And I'd like to defend my viewpoint here.
But is that genetic?
No,
I like fried
the
chicken.
thing
I'm
is,
not black.
the thing is, fried chicken is delicious. People like delicious things. Black people are people. So therefore, black people generally like fried chicken.
That's dumb. I mean, it's logical, but it's also dumb. It's horribly dumb.
That's logical, but it's also
You
dumb.
know,
If I ever write an autobiography, that might very well be the title of my life.
Yeah. You know, there's a really interesting statistic that's provably 100% true, at least on average. The three of us are going to live longer than the average person.
Oh, how so?
Because we're alive right now.
But the average person lives until 50.
Oh, you're not talking about the average person today. You're talking about the average person ever.
No. I'm talking about the average person today.
Okay, explain.
Excluding all other factors, the fact that we have survived up until this point means that we are more likely to survive up until the average lifespan. Because so many people die as children in childbirth and so on, that merely being alive at this point, we have a greater statistical chance of surviving than those people who have already died.
Yeah, that's okay, you're talking about that kind of thing. That's the same fallacy people are talking, oh, in the Stone Age, the average lifespan was 24 years old. You died when you were 24. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. You just died a shitload.
You died when you were 40 or 50, maybe, because you were worn out.
Yeah.
But the problem is 9 out of 10 died when they were 6 months.
Yeah, but that's still a statistic that you can use for any kind of product. People who use this product will live on average longer than most people, simply by the fact that they are actually alive to use.
That is how I am going to market my brand of adult diapers.
I'm pretty sure I will live more than someone who died at 12 years old.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Which means that on average, from now on, you will live longer.
I am pretty sure that if I don't die in a terrorist attack, I will die of like a heart attack when I'm 45.
I've been convinced, or not anymore, but when I was like 16, I was convinced that I would die when I was 27.
Oh, how so? Fortune teller?
Gypsy magic?
No. Do you guys know about the 27 Club?
No.
It's basically... Hang on, okay. The 27 Club is a term that refers to a number of popular musicians who died at age 27.
Oh!
Often as the result of drug or alcohol abuse, or violent means such as homicide or
I
suicide.
have heard of that, yeah. Hendrix
Yeah.
is in that club, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So you thought you would be a popular celebrity?
No, but I had heard of this thing, and then I had a friend online who had a blood clot in his lung when he was 27. For some reason, I was convinced that it would happen to me as well. So,
But you're nowhere near talented enough at anything for...
No. I don't know why, but those two facts combined somehow just put this thought in my mind.
Did you get even more paranoid when you got to Ladder Goat? Oh god, shit! I'm getting popular. 27.
Oh, shit.
No.
Man, it's
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
like we're stupid when we're teenagers or something.
It's almost like people are irrational in general. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to think about, like, your likelihood of dying and stuff.
Oh wow.
I think I have a really hard time comprehending what comes after.
Yeah.
Because I, with all my heart, believe that nothing comes after. But
Yeah.
I can't fathom that. I can't grasp the idea of the concept of non-existence.
Yeah.
What's it like to not exist?
Just stop. I think.
Yeah, but what's that like? It's
Yeah,
not like
it's
anything.
not like anything, because you don't exist.
Yeah, but that boggles the mind.
Yep. It really does. It is cost many a sleepless night for me. Not so much anymore, but I vividly remember the first time I actually thought about what happens after death, and I got like seriously fucked up by it. I couldn't sleep for several days.
So
and stuff.
I actually
got
hope that
fucking
some of the
manic.
God botherer yahoos are correct and I'm wrong.
Oh yeah, when I was in that phase, when I first discovered existential dread, I suppose, the way I got out of it was to imagine, to not even imagine, to convince myself that there was some sort of cosmic confluence, like somehow souls were real, and when I died, I wouldn't disappear. Like I would go somewhere else.
Oh, so your primitive fear of the unknown had you create a religion.
Yes,
You're probably
exactly.
the first one who ever did that. Excluding every other human ever.
Yeah.
I think
it made me realize why so many people seek comfort of religion, especially when they get older and near.
I wish I could. Do we agree that sincere belief, like honestly, truly believing in something, that's not something you choose?
Yeah, I suppose.
You believe or you don't believe. You can't choose, I'm going to believe now. That's not how it works.
Yes.
I wish, some part of me at least, wishes that I could believe, because it would be so much easier and so much more comforting to just put the responsibility of everything in the hands of an invisible sky daddy.
Yeah, I totally
But
agree.
I cannot do that.
I mean, if I could be genuinely religious, I probably would be. But I can't just go to church and pretend, because that doesn't help
That's
at all.
just hypocrisy.
That's not. I don't believe it. Just because even if I say it, I wouldn't believe
even
it.
Even if you want to believe it, that's not how you believe it.
Yeah, exactly.
The coolest
It needs
shit.
to be-
The coolest shit would be reincarnation.
May-
I want to be a fucking bear.
Maybe you should have a man come to your house and make you kiss a cross and throw some holy water on you. Maybe that would help.
Yeah. Reincarnation to me is bullshit.
Yeah,
'Cause
I don't know.
let's suppose reincarnation is real. Through whatever mechanism, it doesn't matter. You right now, you are a reincarnation of some previous life form. Like your soul has carried on and you've been reincarnated.
Alright.
What were you in your previous life? Do you have any memory of that? Do you have any experience of that? Does that affect you in any way? The answer, if you look deeper, has to be no.
So you're saying
You don't remember what you were reborn as, so any future incarnation of me, if I get reborn, it wouldn't remember this life, so it's a completely separate thing. It doesn't matter.
So you're saying that the continuation of existence isn't there, even if there is a persistent soul.
Yeah, exactly. There's still an interruption of consciousness.
Yeah, that's a sound logic.
Yeah.
There's not
that's
even an interruption of consciousness, an end to consciousness, because one given consciousness ends. And
Yeah, and then another one is formed with the same
soul
essence or whatever,
Yeah.
and then somehow that essence can survive, but that isn't me. That's just some...
You
other
don't live on because somebody inherits your favorite jacket.
thing. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my argument against reincarnation. That if it was real, we would know
But
about it.
what
It's somehow
about the
influenced us.
people who go under hypnosis and are able to regress and experience their previous lives, and all of them found out that they just happened to be some major important historical figure that aligns with their beliefs and dreams?
Yeah, or if they happen to be a peasant or something, they shared the same historical misconceptions that the person who went into hypnosis did. So they were eating potatoes in the 1400s and so on, where there were no potatoes, but that person who went into hypnosis just so happened to believe there were. It's, yeah.
I just want to be a bear.
It's fantasy. You want to be a bear.
Yeah.
I don't know, bears are kind of solitary creatures.
Yeah, well, they're...
Yeah, nobody
fish.
bothers you, and you get to sleep for 4 months. I could go with being a bear.
I know, right?
That's true.
And then when you wake up, you eat fish all day.
Yeah. I mean, being at the top of the food chain
I
would be nice.
I don't like fish though, so
You can eat berries.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It must be. It's so strange that humans are currently apex predators, because we really haven't always been.
Yeah, and we're like inferior, like physically inferior to any other animal.
No, that's not true. Jellyfish ain't got nothing on us. But there are definitely categories, like every category, there's an animal that is better at us, better than us at it.
Yeah,
Except for
but they
intelligence
didn't
and
know how to
creativity.
build guns.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to start fires and cook food and extract extra protein and stuff like that.
That was
Yeah.
it, basically, right? Like when we found out fire is a thing. That's when we started to evolve.
Supposedly, at least, yeah. Or rather, when we started cooking or preparing food, it didn't have to be fire. Actually, there's some evidence that before fire, we took meat and we pounded it between two rocks to sort of tenderize it.
That's how the Huns did it.
Yeah,
They stuck pieces of meat under their saddles and then.
Oh yeah. And that helped us get more nutrients out of it, and with those extra nutrients, sort of evolution, quote unquote, could afford to give us bigger brains, because we had the extra resources to spend on maintaining these bigger brains and so on.
It's cool. Evolution is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Evolution. Without evolution, nothing makes sense. Like the people who deny evolution, they must have such a weird worldview. Because psychology doesn't make sense without evolution.
I thought evolution were amazing, but once Batista turned away from them and went face, they kind of lost their momentum.
I'm not even sure if that's an obscure wrestling callback reference, or if it's like something that everybody who knows wrestling knows.
It is a fairly mainstream wrestling callback.
Okay. Either way, it was funny. I bet it would be funnier if I knew exactly what you were talking about. But good job. That was nice.
Jokes were did it.
Jokes were made, laughs were had. In the end, it all turned out well.
I tried so hard and I got so far, but in the end, Linkin Park still make music.
Do they?
Aren't they dead?
Dead?
Huh?
I mean, is Linkin Park still a group that performs?
Probably in the suburbs, in bars.
I feel
What? In suburbs, in bars?
I feel like they were recently, but then I realized that my music knowledge recently is like 2003 or something.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't even know what a Linkin Park is. I don't understand that name.
It's a park.
Is it a place that is called Linkin Park, or does it mean something?
I'm thinking it might just be a place.
Like calling yourself like Skid Row or something.
There's a band called Gorky Park, and that's a place.
Gorky Park?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in Russia.
Oh.
Or
That makes sense.
Poland or something like that.
Russians have music.
Russia, Poland, I mean, really, what's the difference?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm really curious now. When was Romania made? Was this like a thing that happened in World War One, World War Two, or was it a thing before that?
Are we talking about Romania as a state, like Romania, or our roots?
Both.
Yeah, no, like Romania. Like, were you part of like the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and then you split up, or like?
No.
Do you know any of this?
Basically, there were like three states.
Uh-huh.
There was Moldova, Muntenia, and Transylvania.
Oh, wait, Transylvania was a state?
Yeah.
Wow. Alright.
And like we united in the 1800s, basically, like all three of them. But
Alright.
Muntenia and Moldova have been there since 200.
200?
Yeah. So
What?
we have
Since what? What do you mean 200?
the year 200.
Oh! The
Like-
year of our Lord 200?
Yeah, Romans colonized some people that were.
But
living
isn't
there.
Moldova its own country these days?
Yeah, it's like Republica Moldova, but it's separated from. Like in Romania, there's also a region called Moldova.
Oh, okay. That isn't helpful at all.
Yeah, it's really confusing. But
Are you guys a monarchy?
no, we're Democrats.
No, but
Supposedly.
yeah, but so are we. But we still have a king.
No, we don't.
Were you part of the Soviet Union?
We were communists at one point, but we weren't part of the Soviet Union.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, like you know Nicolae Ceausescu is the guy that built the good road.
No.
Oh, nevertheless, he was a big.
I have no idea what you just said.
He like came to power and he was a dictator
In Romania?
in Romania. Yeah.
I don't know any fucking Romanian politicians or anyone that's built a great road.
I've heard the name
Yeah,
Ceausescu.
I don't even know where Romania is on a map. Is it down near...
Transfagarasan? It's pretty popular.
What?
Yeah,
What
you
did
know
you just
what
say?
gypsies, but you don't know Transfagarasan.
Transfagarasan. What the fuck is
So
that?
there's like
Is that some fucking anime
So
character?
there's
Transfagarasan.
there's 4chan and 8chan and 7chan and
No,
Transfagarasan.
it's not a chan. It's Transfagarasan.
Is he like a Klingon or something?
No, you should.
I actually meant to say, is he a Mongol? But whatever, Klingon works as well.
It's actually pretty popular.
It's like Genghis Khan and Transfagarasan.
Genghis Khan.
What,
Oh, I want to see. Like,
what are we gonna do
some
on the
anime.
Great Russian Plains, Genghis Khan?
I want to see an anime where they take like these great leaders through history, like Stalin and Genghis Khan and that kind of stuff, and turn them into cute little anime girls. That probably exists.
Isn't
actually.
that basically Hitalia?
I don't know.
No, wait, that's where they take countries and make them into cute little anime girls.
Oh,
There's a.
sorry. Keep telling me about Transfagarasan.
It's basically a road built by.
What? It's a road?
Yes.
I thought it was a person.
No,
Just Google it.
Ceausescu built Transfagarasan.
Yeah.
I can't Google that. I don't know how to spell Transfagarasan. I
just-
don't even know what it means.
It's basically a cross.
Why can't it just be called Autobahn? At least that's easy to say.
No, it's basically trans means across.
Yeah.
The Transfagarasan, which is a mountain.
Okay. All right. Got it.
So he built a road through a mountain.
Yeah, but it's really
And then
fucking
became the
cool.
president.
Not the president.
What?
People were painting like.
More like the despot.
People were painting.
Yeah, like
What?
when it was fall, he would have people paint leaves in front of him green.
What?
Yeah, because he wanted.
Is he
everything
Kim
to
Jong
be
Il?
Yeah,
He basically
he
was the
something.
Romanian Kim Jong Il.
perfect. Yeah. It was basically that.
Man, Transfagarasan sounds like a badass.
It's a nice road, but it was built only like to get resources out of the mountain.
To get the green paint.
Yes. Like we had a whole industry based on green paint.
Oh, Christ. I'm so sorry, dude. You were trying to explain details about your country, and I'm just mocking it, but...
No, but
Can't
it's-
understand,
it's
man. I
pretty
know
funny.
nothing
It's
about
pretty
Romania.
funny.
Like, I don't know what your flag looks like. I couldn't put you on a map. Like, you're somewhere in Eastern Europe, somewhere.
Yeah.
But I don't know where.
We're Black
Do you
Sea.
have an
We know
ocean
where the
connected
Black
to
Sea
you?
is.
I don't know. Do you have a military? I don't know.
We don't have a
Like,
military. We have.
What's your
like,
national
six.
anthem sound like? I don't know.
I don't know these things about Sweden though. Like I know where it is, and I know the flag, but I don't know national
Yeah.
anthem. and-
Yeah, I suppose that's true. It's not a very common thing to know.
I know the Swedish national anthem.
Bork, bork, bork.
That sounds fucking ridiculous.
No, that was a Swedish chef intro from the Muppets.
Oh, alright. That makes more sense.
Yeah. Right. Was there anything else you wanted to tell me about Romania?
It's shit.
Are you now? Do you have a president?
We have a president, a German president actually.
What?
Yeah.
You're ruled by Angela Merkel.
No.
Are you part of the European Union?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. That's why they have so many people coming here.
Yeah. Basically, we're taking advantage and fleeing from our shit country.
Are you guys getting a lot of immigrants? I guess you don't live there right now, but I suppose
Yeah,
you
we
might
used
know.
to get a lot of immigrants because, contrary to popular belief,
Uh-huh.
universities in Romania are pretty good. Like I didn't
Oh.
stay there because I wanted an international, how do you call it?
Education?
Yeah, sort of. I wanted
experience
Like,
or
yeah,
something?
experience. That's the word. But if I wanted like quality, I would have stayed in Romania because it's quite better.
If I wanted quality, I would have stayed in Romania. Instead, I came to Denmark. Thanks, bro.
No, I'm serious. like you get a lot more stuff in your brain while you're in Romanian university. You know what I mean?
It doesn't show. Education, good Romania, many stuff in brain. I'm sorry, dude. It just sounded funny.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm
Yeah,
just being
you
a
get
dick
way
again.
more out of university in Romania than in Denmark, I think.
Why?
Because
Is it just
Because of
is it just
Transfagarasan.
better?
it's just difficult. It's more difficult.
They make a Transfagarasan into your brain of knowledge.
Of stuff.
You just have this big syringe of green paint. You just stick it in your ear and push it in.
I think the whole difference is like it's way more difficult. You don't
fair
even,
enough.
as a student, you can't have a part-time in Romania.
You can't have a bartender in Romania?
A part-time? What the fuck are you
Oh, a
talking
part-time job. Oh, okay.
Because that would, like, you'd fail all the exams and everything.
So is that because the exams are harder or because the teachers are worse at teaching?
No, they're harder. Like, exams are fucking difficult. Even our, like, end of the high school exam. I suppose Denmark and Sweden has them as well.
No,
I don't know.
You don't
I
have
don't know anything
yeah.
about education in Denmark. I'm a dropout.
Well, end of the, like, you have an exam at the end of the...
we have that here as well, but like at university, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, it's basically the exam that gets you to university.
All right.
Yeah, I had to, like, I learned the whole year before the exam, and I still didn't get perfect grades.
Yeah. Well, it's hard stuff. All right, let's wrap this up. I just have one more question. The name on your Skype, is that your real name?
Yeah, it
don't
is.
say it if you don't want to say it. But,
It is.
Okay. It's quite interesting.
No offense, dude. It seems like a character from like a Witcher novel.
It really does. It really does.
It is quite unusual in Romania as well.
All right.
Uh,
Fair enough.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like someone you have to
It's,
go talk to for a quest.
I have some quests for you.
Gypsy quests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go
well.
fetch me like
I
14
guess-
rat tails. I need to make a charm and a curse.
I guess talking about stereotypes wasn't enough.
Are there a lot of gypsies on the Transfagarasan?
No, it's closed right now. Like,
Oh my god, they closed it?
yeah, it's under.
But where will they get the stuff?
For the
It's
brain?
under reparations.
No!
Yes.
It's unbelievable. If Alexikov was here, that would never have happened.
Ceausescu.
Yeah, whatever.
Nikolai.
That's the one. I'm so sorry. I'm being so offensive right now, and I should stop. So
I actually
thank you
have
for listening,
something.
everybody. Okay, shit, we're not done. Anderson, go.
Just real quick. What kind of food do you have in Romania?
Meat, vegetables.
Okay, thanks. So, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for being so specific, mate.
I like mostly,
the things you put in your
Turkish food.
mouth.
It's
We usually serve drink alongside it. Sometimes we have a bread.
We ingest nutrients.
No, mostly like the most iconic, I would say, is polenta. Do you know polenta? That's the
Yeah,
English word for it.
it's like corn.
Yeah.
Something.
It's that. Fuck. It's that with sausage and pork meat and
Okay.
eggs.
Like mixed together or at the side of it?
No, the side.
Okay.
But it's done in a special way. Romanian
Okay.
way.
What is it called?
Tokitura.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It is delicious.
All right, guys. Can we wrap this
Yes.
up? It's been a lot of fun. And again, I apologize to any.
I
Romanians.
don't.
Actually, I don't. You're all creepy gypsies.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Thank you. That's why you fled.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody put a curse upon you. Yeah, to get out. Fuck. I'm doing it again. No. No.
You're letting the Swede out.
I wonder if Romania is
Yeah.
still Turkey's bitch.
Yeah, no, it's not. We're more like Russia's bitch right now. But since we're in the European Union,
EU?
I suppose we're Germany's bitch
Aren't we all?
as well. We're everyone's bitch.
And Greece's bitch, like the rest of us. All right, so let's wrap this up. thank you everybody for listening. You can reach me on Twitter. Dopefish_lives is my handle on there. Anderson, where can
Don't
they
you
reach me?
usually have an email you plug as well?
Oh yes, I do. I was gonna do that at the end, but that's fine. Okay, yeah. You can reach me or Anderson. I'll pass it on to him at dopelives@gmail.com.
And I am to be found on Twitter at SirAnderson1.
Eliaden, do you have a Twitter you wish to pimp out?
You can reach me by using the Ouija board. The spirit will guide me to you.
Excellent, dude. Excellent.
Or go see him by taking the Transfagarasan.
Yeah, exactly. But that's way more difficult.
You'll find him riding down the Transfagarasan. yeah. All right. As usual, comments on YouTube. We'll read them. And yeah, thanks for watching. Wait, no. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Meat, vegetables.